type thinking that they are like Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, sir.
they just try to get from like Egyptian teachers.
But that's all come from the white man, right? I'll explain. Because in the 70s, the white man went through something called Egypt. When the white man saw Egypt, he went crazy. The first white man to see Egypt is Napoleon, right? He went nuts. He was in Egypt for a minute, going just wandering at it, right? So what happened is when the white man found Egypt, he obsessed about it, right? So in the 70s, he started something called Egyptomania. You can look this up, Egyptomania. So what happened was when black people got wind of it, they go, well, them people was black. So since the white man extols Egypt, and they know Egypt was built by black people, they go, well, we gonna get all enthralled in Egypt, not realizing we wasn't Egypt as slaves.
Exactly.
They enslaved us, they oppressed us, we had a huge war. But the thing is, they got this idiot, what's this idiot, the young nigga, young Pharaoh, right?
Yeah.
This idiot on the internet, right? It just a dummy, right?
Yeah.
And he got a whole video. People keep tagging me this video. Young Pharaoh proves the Hebrews were not slaves to Egypt. Young Pharaoh doesn't know anything about Egypt. Young Pharaoh, how can he prove anything when he doesn't believe that the language of Egypt has ever been deciphered? So how can he know what's written on the walls at all?
Exactly.
He doesn't believe it. He was getting ready to debate a whole bunch of other Egypt dudes about it, and who did they call to help them to substantiate the language of Egypt? They called me. Let's do the linguistic study, come on, boom, let's show them the connection between the Hebrew and the walls, etc., because that's all there. They have something called the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is how they understand all the ancient languages, period, because it's the same thing written in 3 different languages, and they are still alive, so then they compare that to everything else, right? But a lot of people, they don't understand, they don't know where to look and to understand you see the Israelites in Egypt, because they never called us, they don't call us Israelites in America, do they? No, they call us black, right? You see what I'm saying? Or African American. The Egyptians, we're slaves to them. They put whatever word they want to put on us. So they called us something called the Shasu, which indicated the region in which we came from, and they use it as a blanket term to everybody that came from that region. The Syrians, the Edomites, the Moabites, them is the Shasu, meaning they're from over there in the Middle East or the Levant, right? The same way Esau called everybody black just because they look like that, but we may not necessarily, we're not related to the Ethiopians, but they black. You see what I'm saying? You have something? You said what? Shasu, S-H-A-S-U, the Shasu, right? The Shasu had a huge revolt and war with Egypt, led by somebody by the name of Amen Misi, right? Amen Misi, that's Moses. You see what I'm saying? Amen Misi is literally the way you say in the Egyptian language, Moses. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Just want to show you this.
Oh, listen, he's got a video, young Pharaoh, all right? The 76 trillion year history of the black race. 76 trillion years, brother. How do you, he told everybody that there was a 7 billion year old pyramid in Russia.
In Russia.
In Russia? What? This guy don't know anything that he's talking about. But people are going like crazy about it, but he don't understand. You had the Shasu. The Shasu, when you follow the Shasu revolt, it's point for point the Exodus story. Documented in Egyptian history. And it's documented it's documented in different papyrus. You see what I'm saying? Even when the story of us coming into Egypt with Joseph, that's on the walls. That's in what is it? It's in somebody's tomb. I think it's Pharaoh. Hold on, I got you right here. Don't even trip.
Oh, you were watching that magnificent video earlier?
What? Oh yeah, that's a magnificently done video. All praise to the Most High for that video. Lord in prayer, I can't wait to get. I ain't finished it. I can't wait to get back to it. Where I got this file at? Hold up.
Just send it to Tazadagi, I'm sorry, remember, so if
Yeah,
anything.
it's on my drive right. Got it by the name of a nice title. HIJK, right? Let's pass it. Damn it. 1 second. Nope, not this one. Hold on. Not that one. There it is. Boom. Got it. Okay. So now. Okay, so look. Boom. You had Moses, right?
Yeah.
That's Amen Misi. When you go and read in the history, Seti II tried to remove all records of Amen Misi out of history because he was mad about the L that he got, right? Then Goshen, where we lived at, we called it Goshen. The Egyptians, they call it Avaris. You go look it up. In Avaris is Joseph's tomb, right? You remember, if you read in the history, when we left out of Egypt, we went in Joseph's tomb and took the bones. They got Joseph's tomb with a statue of Joseph, with an afro, statue of Joseph, and the tomb is broken into and everything's taken about that tomb, right? So all this history that's in the Bible is in Egypt. They just play a game with you, so you can, but if you look, you can see it, right? But what the white man does on purpose is he backdates the Exodus. He got the Exodus, he tells you that Exodus happened 400 years before it happened. So if you look, then you ain't gonna see it, because it didn't happen then. It happened later, right? So then look, you had, that's where it is, Khnum Hotep, right? So in the tomb of Khnum Hotep, you can see us going into Egypt. You see what I'm saying? That whole picture of us and Joseph bringing the 70 souls in, right? And you can see what we look like. Matter of fact, pull that up, right? You can see a diversity. Some people darker brown, some people lighter brown, some people hair down their back, some people afros. You see what I'm saying? Exactly how we look. Exactly how we look on the sign. All these, we look going into Egypt. We always look like that, right? So, boom. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Boom. That's us going into Egypt. See what it is. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Very clear, right?
Exactly.
So then now, right? You got the Exodus Pharaoh, which is Sitanke, right? His mummy was never found. Then in order to pay homage to him, they put a mummy that was supposed to represent him that wasn't him in a boat in somebody else's tomb. Why they put him in a boat? Because that nigga drowned in the ocean. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that was symbolic of. You see what I'm saying? He drowned in the ocean, right?
They just play a big game.
They play a big game, right? Boom. So when you look up the history of Amemisi, he's reckoned as the son of the king's daughter, but his father is never mentioned. Because remember, the Pharaoh's daughter come and adopt him, but it never say who his daddy is, right? Because she just adopted him, right? So what happened was, when you look at the history in the Papyrus Assault 124, he killed Neferhotep for mistreating slaves. Didn't it say Moses came and he seen the dude beating the Hebrews and killed him? This is all documented in the Bible, right? But we don't know what we're talking about. The Hebrews were never slaves in Egypt. These guys they're just stupid. That's all it is. And it's, you don't want to.
What they fail to realize is, Ham, when he was a progenitor over the whole nation, he twisted the law that he got from his father.
Well, exactly.
That's all he did.
And they
twisted the law.
They live what they call a lewd. Their culture is more lewd than the Shemitic culture. You see what I'm saying? It's the culture of Ham, right?
Yeah.
So now look, boom. Okay. So again, according to Papyrus Assault, after he killed Neferhotep for mistreating slaves, he fled to Midian, right? That's exactly what happened when he goes to Jethro's house. It's in Midian, right? Jethro's the priest of Midian. Then he returns to Egypt, gathers a coalition of Asiatic slaves. Asiatic, pertain to from over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He leads Asiatics to steal gold, silver, and clothes. In Exodus 6, God tells us what? To go and rob the Egyptians of all their gold, right? Boom. Okay. It says borrow every one of the Egyptians and steal all their stuff, right? Okay. That's documented in the Papyrus Harris, right? So not only we just telling you, I'm giving you the sources, right?
Exactly.
Then Sitake expels, right? Sitake the Pharaoh says, all right, he expels and chases Amemisi. So first he expels him, kicks him out, just like the Pharaoh did. All right, y'all can go. But then after they going, now I'm gonna chase these niggas, right? Expels and chases Amemisi and the Asiatic slaves to Sinai, but loses them at the Red Sea. This is all in the Papyrus. This is all in Egypt, right? His tomb was built, but his remains were never found, right? Okay, yeah, boom. So, I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But the Papyrus Assault and the Papyrus Harris got pretty much all that history documented. But they'll say we just made it up, right? Because it don't say Israelites. But you got to remember, when we walked into Egypt, it's 70 niggas. If 70 people walk in anywhere, you think you're gonna dictate to everybody what you're gonna be called? No, you're 70 people, bro. You're gonna be whoever the hell we feel like you are. And then when we leave and we establish ourselves as a nation, then when we encounter them again, they're like, oh, the Israelites.
Yeah.
Of course, because now we're somebody. Now we have a home. Now we're a multitude of millions of people, etc.
So was that when Pharaoh was saying that we're mighty, like we're gonna go against them?
Exactly. We was getting so deep. Now we're a problem. Now we got to start killing their babies. Now we got to start working them harder because eventually they're going to overtake us. You see what I'm saying? That's what they were afraid of, and the Most High had it to where we did, but He didn't have us to overtake them and take their land. He had us to go into the land that He wanted us to go. You see what I'm saying? Their greatest fear actually ended up occurring. You see what I'm saying? But when they say stuff like that, but see, this is how silly our people is that believe in. Our people that are into Kemeticalism are as bad as Christians.
Exactly.
Because they don't really actually study anything. All they go for is confirmation bias.
That's all they do.
That's it. And they won't even actually reason with you 9 times out of 10. All they'll do is dismiss everything and just regurgitate rhetoric to you. No, God, just like the white man will go, God loves everybody. No, man, Egypt, it's the oldest, right? You ever heard of a Ford Model T?
No.
That's the oldest car in the world, right? You think a Ford Model T is better or a 2020 Bugatti? Which one would you rather have? Just because something's older, the first don't make it the best.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, then they'll say this. They'll say that we stole the laws from them, right? Now, I did a presentation in front of all of them, right? Where I go over what they call my aunt. My aunt got 42, it's 42 negative confessions, right? How many laws do we got? How does 42 come 613? We stole something from somebody, right? The only similarities that are between my aunt and the Torah is don't kill, don't have sex with nobody's wife, don't steal. Common stuff that every nation in the world is going to legalize and tell people, don't do. Don't go around killing people. I mean, only America tell you can pop anybody's wife you want, right? But you know what I'm saying? Don't steal, don't kill, etc. That's universal, simple stuff. That ain't intricate at all, right? Matter of fact, give me Leviticus 18. Right? Moses was giving us intricacies, sacrifice, all that various stuff. They don't have nothing like that. Purification rituals. They don't have stuff like that, right? Read.
Leviticus 18:3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
Right. So when Moses is giving us a law, because they'll say that too. Wasn't Moses learning all of the ways of Egypt? Yes. And he told us, don't do what you just saw in Egypt.
Don't do what you saw.
I know what they do in Egypt. Yeah, trust me. Don't do this stuff.
Don't do that.
Them people are disgusting. Number one, they don't ever want to talk about spell 700, right? They don't want to talk about ritualistic masturbation in Egypt. They don't want to talk about mummifying 200 cats in Egypt. Why did y'all kill 200 cats and mummify them?
Exactly.
Because you believe that if you put them in a mummy with this Pharaoh, that they're going to go to some afterlife with them. We don't, but we got our culture from you. We don't believe in that, right? How about sperm lettuce? You see what I'm saying? This is the type of madness they believe. So how do we get anything from you people? What we got from you people is to learn what not to do. Don't be like these people. These people are filthy. These people are disgusting. Just like Canaan. Go ahead, King. But not the Negroes. Not the Negroes.
Not the Negroes. He put a,
I'm an Egyptian.
he said he put a separation between the Egyptians
And the coldest part is, we had a brother up here a couple weeks ago when we came out here on a Friday, where he was like, man, we come from Kemet, and I just always got a question. How do you connect yourself to Kemet? Because let's just take everything off the table. Now they did it to me. Now they got me. Slingshot's not as loud as the dirt bikes. All right, not as many of them. So, how do you connect yourself to ancient Egypt? You came in slavery from West Africa. Them is two different groups of people.
Yeah.
Then they'll go, well, it's all Africa. But all Africa does not look at Africa encompassing.
Yeah, they have their own parts.
They have their own parts, their own tribes, their own cultures, etc.
That's just like if you ask somebody here, they be like, what's their roots? They say African, but you ask a real African where they from, they tell you the direct part.
They'll give you
from Libya, I'm
give
from Ethiopia.
specifics, right?
They give you a specific.
And West Africans don't identify with Sudanese, Ethiopian. They don't identify like that. Only we go Africa.
Exactly.
It's just we're from Africa, and we can claim everything in Africa. It's because the white man gave us something called race, right? Give me a biblical definition of race, please. They gave like the white man gives us, like, for example. No, give it to me in First Peter, right?
Okay.
No, get the Greek. So the Most High, so race, the concept of a race means, and then give me that in the pocket. You know what I mean? You got it. Okay. So the race, it means actually means nationality. That's what it actually means. The white man has took it to. Here's how cold it is in America. You know that that race in America legally is defined now has nothing to do with how anybody even looks. Race is defined as social identification. What group of people you identify with the most socially, you hang around, is your race. So you got white people, if they say all their friends are black, they can say I'm black now.
Look at Rachel Dozo.
You see what I'm saying? Exactly. She did it, right? So that's the game that they play. But initially they came up with this racial identity that you had Caucasoids, Negroids, and Mongoloids, and that's what everybody was, right? But that's never been like even in Creole, right? In Creole, we got a saying called Ras Papa, right? So Ras Papa means like you're your father's race. Mothers say that to their kids to like say something negative about like you just like your daddy, basically. That's how we say it in Creole. But wait, the mom and the dad is the same race. So why is she saying, according to the white man, it's the same race? Why is she saying you're the race of your father? No, you come from your father's family. That's what race really means. They took it and they put colors on it. So now we're seeing in colors, and it's a total deception.
They really, the Most High judges by nation. He
By,
doesn't judge by race.
by nation. See what I'm saying? Exactly. Read that, and then I'm coming here. Go ahead.
1 Peter 2:9. You are a chosen race.
So it said the Israelites are a chosen race, right? Read.
This is the Greek word for race, Strong's G1085, genos, family, nation or nationality or descent from a particular people.
Right, go ahead.
Family, offspring, the aggregate of many individuals of the same nature.
That's what that means. It's not about how anybody looks,
Stock.
color, or you say what?
Stock.
Stock. What is stock? Seminal fluid. Seed. Right, now watch this. Read.
Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
What's a fruitful possession? I'm not asking you, man. A woman is a fruitful possession. Read.
Throughout all the field, sow it with thine own seed.
Say, sow it with thine own seed. Meaning, when you get a girl, you have babies with her, right? You don't just get her, you had to have babies with her. Read.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
You trust that you come from a great people, so this is why you get her pregnant, so more great people can exist, right? So
So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified.
It's going to magnify your race, your family, your nation, the particular people that you descend from, not how anybody looks, right? Because we know there's a book called Nature Knows No Color Line. So you know, especially our people, black people, can make babies that look any type of way anyway. So this concept that somebody is defined to physical attributes, that's fake. You see what I'm saying? What about an albino? He's white as everybody. So is he a Caucasian now? Even though he have two black parents? Stupidity, right? Go ahead, King. One black, one white. Right? Look the same, but one looks like a straight white person. What is anything look white? What is going on? If he told you he was black, you'd be like, man, nah, hell nah. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't believe it. See what I'm saying? Then you see his brother like, wait, this nigga got the same face as him. But what is going on? You see what I'm saying? But that's real, right? It happens all the time. It happened with Jacob and Esau. And what did the angel tell Jacob and Esau's mother?
Say you have two nations in
Two
your womb.
nations in your womb. See what I'm saying? And they're not together, so they're separated, right? So these are two distinctive people, period, right? And now you got Edomites. See, and this is the thing. You got who's a prominent tares right now? LMA. Let's go LMA, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm gonna tell you something, right? Boot Up was a huge song, right? We all love Boot Up, right? But you know what I listened to that song and thought every time I listen to that song? This song would be so much better if Rihanna sung it, right? So when I started thinking that, I said, you know what? She got a goddamn white father. I guarantee it. I look it up. Sure enough, daddy white, mom Jamaican. You see what I'm saying? But she can identify as black because she's black, physically, right? Same way like Bob, physically, right? But that doesn't make them an Israelite. Now, in the white man standard of what a black person is, okay, they can be black, but they're not Israelites because Israelites don't have a monopoly on being black, right? You see what I'm saying? It's about the seed of the father, and the physical appearance could be any kind of way. And any black person, And any black person that doesn't understand that is an idiot, and here's why. Because all of us can go to any of our family reunions and see all kind of different looking people. And go, well, who the hell, wait, you're my, wait, hold on. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because that's just us. And that's not, just like we showed you on the walls of Egypt when we went in there, we always been like that. That's not a new thing that just started in America. The Israelites have always had a variant in look, right? Go ahead, King.
That's like the group, the Bars.
Yeah.
They are fathers of white.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, that's the problem. The vice president. Kamala Harris.
East Indian, ain't he?
No, she's white. Her grandfather was a slave owner in Jamaica. Then, listen, slave owner that had a baby with the slave, which is her father, and then that dude had a baby with an East Indian. So now we got Kamala Harris. But she's actually, her pops bragged about his dad being a slave master in Jamaica, then he moved to America. So just like Obama, he's a Hamite, right? But see, when they put Obama on, people go, stood up proud. Look, he's a. But why ain't a slave in the White House? You see what I'm saying? Why ain't a slave the president or the damn vice president? Because they're giving you that image, so you think that you identify with it, and it pacifies you. And then think about this. Think about the second message they're sending, right? They got Kamala. She's the vice president. She is officially the most powerful black woman and the most powerful woman to ever be in America. And who's her husband? The white man. So what is that telling black women? If you want power for real, you got to go get with the white man. What are you thinking about? You see what I'm saying? That influence. Why do you think in every ad, if you go to Walmart right now, right? If you go to Walmart, the average Walmart got like, it's not the new year, brother, but all right, right? So every Walmart got like the optometrist place in there where they sell the glasses at, right? If you look at the #1 ad campaign that they use in an optometry place, white man with the black woman and the kids, right? That's the #1 thing that they're using in advertising media right now. And there's a reason for that, because they're pushing the agenda. If you look at the statistics, our people marry each other more than they marry anybody else. There's also a narrative, right? You ever heard the narrative that successful black men marry white women? 85% of all black men that make over $100,000 a year are married to black women. 85%. But they push a narrative that's not it, right? But if you look at the numbers, they'll go and put a picture of Tay Diggs, picture of this nigga. They'll go put certain, okay, that's a couple niggas. All right, cool. Who is LeBron with? You understand what I'm saying? But they don't put LeBron picture up there, right? They select pictures to push them. We got to understand that we living in a propaganda world, an agenda world, and memes are brainwashing people on a daily basis.
SICARRI.
We are the children of the one Yahweh.
The chosen.
Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us. Now everything belongs to us.
Shalom, what's going on? It's your brother Chief Priest ISRAELITE, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew, and I'm just letting y'all know I just dropped my official clothing line, Urban Guerrilla. Go to urbangorilla.com right now to check us out, man, and pick something up. There's URBNGRLA.com. We got all kind of items for men, women, children, even infants, as well as fragrance, oil, smell goods. You can also check out Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co., another SICARRI business, on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can hit up DeaconSICARRI.com to get your plug on the scarves, the music, and the children's Bibles. Thanks for your time. All praise to the Most High. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.